Well, hello there, everyone. I don't even know how to start this video. As you can see, this is more of a cozy sit down with me video. I have my blanket on because I'm cold. But if you can see that I have a pretty low energy today, it might be because I've filmed two other videos that I've scrapped because they were boring. So I would love for this to be interesting as it is. So as you can see from the title, hi, I'm Jade, and today we'll be doing a one book video, a one book review, just one book, because I have a lot to say. So that book is, as you can see from the title, didn't click, Lore. Now, it's Lore by Alexandra Bracken. Uh, If you're familiar with her name, she wrote The Darkest Minds and The Darkest Minds, I think it was a trilogy, and also The Passenger duology. So, and also she wrote this standalone fantasy book called Lore. Now, just to give you guys a warning, I'll first talk about what the book is about, then spoiler-free thoughts, then I'll get into the spoilers, because as I said, I have a lot to say. So the book is basically about Lore, who lost her family to this Agon, I think it's supposed to be. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing everything wrong. Just bear with me, please. But there's this Agon that happens every 7 years for 7 days when gods. So it takes from Greek mythology. Some people say it's Greek mythology meets the Hunger Games, which I can definitely see why they would say that. But so every 7 years for 7 days, this event happens, and hunters of like original Greek families try to hunt down gods so they can take their power from them and basically use the gods' powers to make their bloodline superior to the others. You get the gist of it. And what happens when Lore's family was eliminated from this hunt and she's the only one left, and Athena shows up at her doorstep wounded. Will she be dragged back into the hunt? Or will she live her life normal as it was before? I think we both know what happens. But spoiler-free thoughts. I give this book 4 stars because it had some things that I had a problem with. It includes a trope that most people hate, like myself, which I will talk about in the spoiler section, like a lot. So that's why it didn't really get a 5-star rating from me. But also, like, I think when you're reading a book, you know when it's going to be a 5-star. Like, you just feel if it's a 5-star or not. So there's that. Um, I guess I would recommend this book to people who like Greek mythology, who have no problem with a main character who's like, she does stupid things, don't get me wrong, but she is basically someone when it's like she's a strong character in ways. She's stupid in others, but I think for her background, she's a well-written character. Like, really, really well written. So I would recommend this to anyone who likes Greek stories, who is not afraid to be confused, or that was just me, I don't know, maybe it was, but I genuinely like this book and I recommend it as much as I can. But that's all I can say in the spoiler free section. The ending was ending was also good. The ending was immaculate. Loved it. That's why I got 4 stars and not 3 or 2, because I was considering that. And because of one thing that I'll be talking about that happens in the like about 50%, maybe a little further into the story. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the spoiler section. So if you're someone who hasn't read lore and you want to, please click off this video, because I'll go into spoilers, like deep spoilers. And if you had, then come back later. I'll see you next time. But if you read lore, or if you don't care about spoilers and you're probably not gonna read it, then stay tuned, because I'll have a lot to say. And sorry that I'm literally just throwing around a pen in my hands, but I'm a bit stressed. So let's talk about spoilers. Again, spoiler warning, this is your last warning. So, first of all, let's get into the beginning of the book. Predictions that I've had, ones that turned out to be true and ones that did not. So, Miles, we love Miles. Miles is Lore's best friend. So at first, I actually thought that, you know, the story starts out with Lore finding Athena, healing her, and then binding her faith to Athena's. Which I knew something was up with that, cause like it was too easy, and I was just like, what is going on there? So I knew something was up with that. But then her long lost friend, Castor, who's the only reason why I got through this book, probably. Castor is my new book boyfriend. Let's just say that. I think I mentioned in my last, like the August reading wrap up that I did, that one of the characters gave me major PETA vibes, and that was Castor. I don't know why. I was just like PETA energy. Yeah, I think Lore is what Katniss wanted to be, if you get what I mean. So you know, they team up with Athena, then Lore meets with Castor, and turns out Castor is a god. Cause plot. No, it actually serves some things in the story. But so then when we got into the things, I was just like Castor's best friend other than Lore, Evander. I so thought he was a spy. I so thought he was just gonna betray them. And I don't know why. Like the quickly answering, the knowing too much about different things, it kind of just caught me off guard, and I was just like, I'm looking at you, Evander. And I'm still sorry if I'm mispronouncing any of the names. Now, the thing is, I can't remember a lot about the book because it kind of dragged on. Because they were trying to get help from the other Bloodlines to destroy this new Ares, I think. Ares, who is, you know, the war of God, who was trying to win the Aegon, and who also killed Lore's family. We'll get onto that. But I was kind of like, oh yeah, let's go and kill him and everything. And as they got on and all of their plans were failed, I was just like, there's gotta be a rat between them. That was my pen dropping to the floor. Keep talking. So when their plans started failing, and when it turned out that there was a person who took Lore in, and he was also a god but in disguise. It was just like, but why are you doing this? Like, there were like too many, I think, things that just kind of flipped the switch that I kind of got lost in it. So the other thing I have to talk about, I'm trying to get through this fast because I don't want to make another 20-minute video and then edit it. But it's probably gonna be 20 minutes. You get your sweet content once a week, so it's gotta be 20 minutes. But there was this scene that almost made me drop the book. So while reading it, as I said, Castor was one of the characters that really made me continue, maybe the only character that made me continue. And then he was killed. So I literally cried for about 5 minutes at least, or 10. I ate sweets because I was sad. And I wanted everything, just like I watched sorry. I watched YouTube videos for like an hour trying to get that sadness away, and then I was just like, is he really dead? Let's continue the book. So I went on, and then 2 chapters later, he's not dead. So, like, it's kind of not resurrection, but at the same time, no. Thank you, no. Because if there is one trope that I desperately just want authors to stop using, it's the freaking resurrection trope. And I know this wasn't full resurrection, but it wasn't even explained well. Like, I don't remember them ever explaining what happened or why he didn't die. Like, he's immortal. But why? Exactly. Like, maybe I was the only one who couldn't catch it, because I literally flew through the book from that point on, because I was just like, I just want to finish this because I'm so mad. So then he turns back. Then, like, you know, lore goes off the rails before Castor dies, then he's back, she thinks it's not really him, then yeah, Iroh betrayed Lore. Yeah, I forgot about that part. Tried to kill Castor. Like, it was such a, like, it was a lot. That's why it kind of got 4 stars. Like, I felt like a lot of things happened that were like, come on, just do a little, like, less. And focus on more the things that are happening. Because, like, it was, like, kind of like, the first, like, 300 pages were like, and then the last 200 pages were like bam, 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 action, 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 action. And it's kind of like, what happened? Like, the pacing of this book was like, okay. So that happens, then Lore breaks off with Athena, thinking she's the only one she can trust, goes to save Tidebringer. Then Athena turns on her. Which I didn't see coming, so plot twist, got it. Again, why are there so many freaking plot twists in this book? By the angel, why? Sorry, I'm trying to use more fantasy kind of bad words so I can keep this video family friendly. But my videos are not for kids. It's not. Well, where did I? Yeah, Lore is betrayed, and then Lore tries to kill herself, thinking, now we're back to the bond, thinking that Athena is going to die, because they've been through so much. Like, they got to, like, one of the houses trying to save Iroh, and she helped them. Also, they kind of robbed a few weaponry stacks that was the false Ares, the new Ares, Wrath. So she was just like, oh, she's gonna die. their fate wasn't binded. I kind of expected that because it seemed too easy, but and then again, Castor finds her because Miles had activated, had it activated with her so they could look through where Lore was. Then other cute stuff ensues. Happens with Castor and Lore when he's healing her, which I loved. Also, Miles and Ben get together, which is kind of just amazing. Like the banter between these characters sometimes just save the goddamn book. Well, and the ending. Oh, saints, the ending. Like the ending. So, for those who don't know and haven't read the book, I'll explain this, but the ending is basically I will try to not use any of the family names. I've been avoiding that because I don't know how to say them. So basically Castor's like remaining soldiers and Iroh's, because now she's back and she's sorry for what she did to Castor and Castor forgives her. Again, PETA energy. Okay, I only read the first book. Bear with me. Of Hunger Games, if you couldn't catch that. But you know, that happens. Castor is left in the tunnels to deal with some hunters because he said to Lord go, and I thought that was when he's going to die, because I was just like, no. Then it's a showdown between Lore, a mortal. Okay, everyone is mortal, but like human being, a hunter, Wrath, the new Ares, and Athena. And I was just like, okay, I feel like Lore is going to win, but this seems very like out of balance, like 2 against 1. Yeah, because Athena joined Wrath, so don't ask me why. Also, there's this shield that I cannot see the name of, like Athena's shield, that is somehow connected to this mess. Because there's a poem. Like, I'm talking like over the place because I don't understand the plot well enough, but I loved it. It was, the shield had a version of the poem, like the poem that Zeus told the hunters at Olympon how they can win the gun, and they were trying to find that so that Wrath could come out as a victor. And Athena joined his side to get Lore to bring the shield, because the shield could only be used by her house, or if she willingly give it to someone. Now, I haven't talked about the plot twist that not only had Athena betrayed her, but Athena killed her family. Why is there is so much to unpack in this book that I literally just sat there and been like, I need to make another whole video about this. Because I just kind of sat there and was like, it's kind of like Six of Crows. This is not really a spoiler for Six of Crows, but when Cassie's planning something, and it's kind of just like you're just sitting there unpacking it, but this is much more just like, what is going on? This is much more like that. Like, at least with Six of Crows, I could kind of get it and understand the way the plot was going, the things were happening, how Cass would have done it. But this time, I'm kind of just like flabbergasted by this book. I'm just kind of sitting here being like, damn, I don't know if this is one of the best books I read or what. Like, I think it wanted to do so much. Like, it wanted to do so much things at once that it only succeeded in doing some of them as in depth as they should be talked about. Of course, look up the trigger warnings. I always I told you guys this in the August reading recap. Check the trigger warnings, because this is a dark book. This is a hella dark book, and there are some things that might be triggering for some people. which came out of nowhere in this book. I'm just talking about that. It came out of nowhere. Like, it literally just, bam, hit you in the face. Yeah, things happen. But I guess, then Shodan, yeah, let's get back to the ending. Shodan, Lore tries to, she's been given, like, earplug thingies against wrath power that basically drains energy out of her, which later turns out to be giving energy to him. And she puts her earplugs in and turns the noise cancelling on so she wouldn't hear his voice, so she couldn't be controlled by his power, and then acts like she is. A trope we've seen done 1,000 times before. Sorry. Jessica Jones. Hello. Yeah. So she does that, then she loses one of her earpieces. She can't do that again. And then she's kind of taunting them. And then she gets Athena to finally break. Lore almost loses her life again. This is a reoccurring theme that just like Lore almost dies like 3 times in this goddamn book. Great! Consistency! Yay! And then Athena has this line that I kind of just sat on for a minute of just like, you will never get the shield, and I did not give you permission to kill that mortal. And I just kind of sat there being like, girl, oh my god, like he about to get beat to the ground by Athena. He does. Yeah, he does. And then I think Lore gives the shield over to Athena, like saying that she should destroy it because it's one of the most like things she wanted, and the poem says so. And I was confused. Apparently she has to destroy the shield, but in the end they had a bomb, by the way. I'm just like, there are so many details to unpack that I'm just kind of all over the place because I don't remember everything at once. And I always have no notes because I'm an idiot. But so Athena gets Wrath knocked out, at least. I don't think she kills him. I don't think that. But then Athena comes to Lore, who's struggling with her, barely alive. And because there was poison on Wrath blades that wanted to kill Lore with, and they slash Athena, so Athena is losing life as well. Because they are mortal during the Agon. I actually forgot to tell you guys that. The gods are mortal during the Agon. And then Athena helps Lore lets her kill her. Like, literally gets the blade in her hand, holds it with her own, and slashes through her own heart. So Lore gets her power. Lore is barely alive even like that. She's just like, I need just like a few more minutes so I can finish this. The bomb starts almost going off. She stops it, but the fire has a bit spread. She uses her now newfound powers to try to get the fire to stop. Then Cass comes up to her again. Cass is the savior of everyone, and I love him with the whole of my heart. And he saves her from basically destroying herself, and he's like, the fires have been put off, stop. And I just, like, oh my god, yes. Like, the cute scenes that we got. Oh my god. So then Lore wakes up later in her bed. Castor had obviously healed her because it's Castor. And I guess then they go up to the rooftop, and Van and Miles are cuddling because Cutie pies. I love those two actually. Yeah, Vaughn turns out not to be a spy. I was surprised by that. And they kind of go out to this rooftop and they are waiting for the cycle, this Agon cycle to end to see if they actually done it with like the gods sacrificing themselves to save a mortal. And Castor and Lore are there and I think she feels something in the air, like Lore feels something in the air change. And she wakes up with Castor obviously next to her. And they had agreed that they will wake up the others, but they don't, and Castor moves against her because he noticed the same thing she did, and they're watching this, I think the sun either set or come up as a new day comes, and she's just literally like in her mind, I think, what, or maybe whispering it like, please, please let us have done it or something. And then they look, Castor and Laura look at each other, they kiss, and then they look at each other again and are waiting for something to happen. And their eyes turn back to brown and not glowing, so they are not gods anymore, and it's over. Ah! So, what can I say more about this book? A roller coaster, an emotional roller coaster. Everything is just like chaos, pure chaos for my mind. I don't know. This book is 500 pages. At least in my Kinderforget, it was like 483. Don't ask me why I know that. 82. Don't ask me why I know that. But it is. So that's Lore. I'm still sitting here. I finished it yesterday at like 10 p.m. I usually don't stay up that late. No, at 10 p.m. Like 8 or 9 p.m. I usually don't stay up that late or read at that hour because I'm an early bird. I'm not a night owl like anyone else. Like, I don't actually seen anyone say this before. I'm an early bird. So I may or may not have understood some parts of the book and not really others. But I still think that you should read it. I mean, I just spoiled it, but it was a good book. And I'm happy that I read it. And I'm happy that I pushed through that Castor death. And now I have another book that I need to buy for my bookshelf. But I guess that's it for this video. Hope you guys all enjoyed this 28-minute video. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye!